purpose of this DVD is to show the basic safety points that must be observed if you plan to use one of Bristol Water's motorboats for fishing at Chew Valley Lake. Safety afloat is our priority, and you must be aware of these basic functions if you want to use one of our boats. We expect you to conduct yourselves in a safe and responsible manner, and we do not accept responsibility for loss, damage or injury to you or your personal effects. By signing in, you are agreeing to our rules and regulations. All anglers must read the safety instructions on view in the lodge, and must sign to say they have read and understood the safety instructions. If you're not completely sure of any instruction, ask before going to the boat. A weather forecast is displayed in the lodge, where you will also find the finishing time. Finishing time is also clearly displayed on the jetty. Boats must be returned to the jetty no later than 15 minutes after this time. There's a map of the lake in the lodge indicating where the no anchoring areas are. You must fully understand where these areas are and be sure to keep clear. You must be particularly aware of slip hazards and wear appropriate non-slip footwear when moving around the jetties or boats. You must wear a life jacket at all times, not only when in the boat, but also when you are standing on the jetties or near the water's edge. If you have your own, it is used at your own risk and must be fit for use. To put on a life jacket, slide your arms one at a time through the straps. Then fasten the buckle. You may need to adjust the straps of the jacket to suit you. Always wear the life jacket on top of any other clothing. Take your mobile phone with you, but take precautions to keep the phone dry. Please be aware that the boats and jetties can be slippery, with additional trip hazards in the form of mooring cleats and chains. So be careful when moving around and keep a good lookout for where you are stepping at all times. The combined maximum all-up weight for people and tackle for your boat is 300 kilograms. Overloading the boat can make the boat unstable, and it is for this reason that we restrict the maximum loading in the boat. Scales are available for you to check the weights of your tackle, but be aware that you may be asked by the staff to check the load before you can go out. Our jetties are large enough to hold a number of boats, but space on the jetties is limited. Your boat should have these items aboard: 2 oars and rowlocks, a bailer, and an anchor. The anchor is an important safety item, so should never be removed. If any items are missing, tell a ranger. Carry a sensible amount of tackle at one time on the jetty, making several trips back to shore if needed. Do not leave tackle unattended on the jetties, as this is a trip hazard to other users. The most stable point to enter the boat is from the bow, as the boat won't tip as you step in. When you first step in, do not carry any tackle, as this can unbalance you. Step into the bow section of the boat carefully, keeping your feet on the deck of the boat. Keep your weight as close as possible to the centre line of the boat, and never step on the seats at any time. Your raised centre of gravity will almost certainly result in the boat tipping over, causing injury. Load your boat carefully from the bow by passing to a colleague already in the boat. If you are alone, ask for help from a ranger or contact Woodford Lodge using the emergency number. Whilst you are in the boat, be aware of the effect of the wind and wash from other passing boats. This can create waves that can cause the boat to become unstable. Always keep your hands and feet within the body of the boat to prevent them becoming injured. Check the operation of the bilge pump. This pumps out any water that may have collected in the bottom of the boat prior to use. To operate, pump backwards and forwards until you are confident all the water has been pumped out. Repeat this process regularly throughout the day. If the pump doesn't operate, it may be necessary to place your hand over the output pipe to allow a vacuum to be formed and the water to flow, and then pump the handle. If you use boat seats, ensure they are positioned so that when you sit in them, the boat doesn't tip. Do not untie your boat until your engine is running. The engine is fitted with a kill cord which clips onto the engine. The boat will not start if this is not fitted. Depending on the particular engine, the gear selector is either at the side of the engine or located on the front. Ensure the engine is in neutral. In both cases, the direction of travel is clearly marked. Rotate the throttle control to the warm start setting and gently pull the starting cord fully once. If the cord doesn't run easily, double check the gear selector to ensure the engine is in neutral. Then give the cord a firm and positive pull. If it does not start after the third attempt, the engine could require a cold start. In this case, adjust the throttle control to the cold start position and prime the engine by pumping the fuel bulb until you feel this go hard. Pull out the choke fully, then pull the starting cord. You may need several pulls to start the engine. Once the engine has started, gently reset the choke until the engine is running smoothly. If it does not start within 10 pulls of the cord, inform the ranger who will help. You must wear the kill cord around your leg at all times. If you fall overboard whilst motoring, the engine will automatically cut off. Never put your hands or feet anywhere near the propeller once the engine is running. The spinning blade will cause injury. Before you unclip the boat and cast off, check for any immediate boat traffic or obstructions. It may become necessary to lift the engine at some point during your day, in particular if the propeller becomes fouled. If this happens, remove the kill cord to shut down the engine and engage forward gear. Then gently pull the engine forwards by pulling on the rear of the engine housing. The engine will come out of the water and will be automatically secured by the inbuilt restraining catch. Once you clear the propeller, lower the engine. Using one hand, pull the engine slightly forwards and with the other hand release the restraining clip. Then gently lower the engine into the water before restarting the engine. The boats are very manoeuvrable. To steer, sit on the right-hand side of the boat and push or pull the tiller arm of the engine to change direction. And easy gear selection is possible from here when needed. The throttle works by twisting the wrist. Twisting one way opens the throttle and the other way closes the throttle. Forward or reverse gears are selected with the gear selector lever. If you need to change direction, select neutral for a couple of seconds before changing the gear. This avoids damaging the engine. Changing direction can also be used to stop the boat. Be careful when using reverse, as waves over the stern may easily swamp the boat. Do not use full speed if you are close to the jetty or any other vessels afloat. Your wash may swamp them. We expect you to behave and drive the boat in a safe and responsible manner, and we reserve the right to refuse you access to the boats if you behave irresponsibly. Be aware of other water users, so keep a good lookout at all times. It is often difficult to hear other vessels approaching, in particular sailing vessels that are also on the water. And be aware that sailing boats can change direction very quickly. Powerboats must give way to any sailing boats at all times, so make sure you keep out of their way or throttle back and slow down. Do not fish in areas where the yachts are racing. If they race near you, stop fishing while they pass. Be aware of other fishermen and make sure you steer clear of all drifting angling boats. Be careful of all the bank anglers and keep at least 50 metres away from the banks, as the wash from your boat may affect them. Be aware of wildlife and make sure you do not disturb them. Carefully avoid motoring near the shallow areas of the False Island, Point of the Island and Nunnery Point, as the engine can ground, which causes damage. Please do not smoke in the boats due to the petrol storage tanks. We recommend sitting whilst casting and fishing. Never stand on the seats whilst fishing, as this will cause the boat to become unstable. Use the anchor if you wish, but do not anchor in prohibited areas. To deploy the anchor, pick it up and gently lower it over the side of the boat, and secure the end of the warp to the centre thwart on the boat. Do not tie this with a knot. The clip will allow you to remove the anchor quickly in the event of an emergency. If your anchor gets stuck, unclip the rope and buoy from the thwart and throw it overboard. Inform the staff of the area where you left it when you get back ashore. When at anchor or using a drogue, be very careful of how you sit in the boat. The boat will start to roll if the combined weight of the occupants is outside the centre line of the boat. The further out you lean, the more the boat will tip. This can cause the boat to get swamped, as waves on the lake can easily breach the lowered side of the boat, resulting in a capsize. Ensure the boat remains as upright as possible to prevent this from happening. When using a drogue, do not tie this to the boat. Use a clip. This will allow you to remove the drogue in the case of an emergency. If you get into difficulty, dial the emergency number, which is clearly on show in all the boats. If your engine breaks down or will not restart, deploy the anchor from the bow of the boat to stop any drift. Try the following to restart. Check the kill cord is in position. Do not use any choke or prime the engine. If after 10 pulls the engine fails to fire, ring the emergency number saying your boat number and where you are. A rescue boat will come as soon as possible. To attract the attention of a nearby vessel, raise an oar vertically in the air. If the boat gets swamped, the inbuilt buoyancy will keep it afloat. If you find yourself in this situation, keep calm, inflate your life jacket and stay with the boat, as this is easier to spot from the shore. Ring the emergency number if you can and try to attract a near boat's attention by waving, shouting or blowing a whistle. Watch out for rescue boat patrols. You must return to the jetty no later than 15 minutes after finishing time. Approach the jetty slowly and carefully. We recommend waiting until a ranger tells you it is clear to land, and be aware of other boats as you approach. Clip the boat onto the jetty from the bow, keeping the engine running until the boat is secured. Disembark from the bow of the boat without stepping on any of the seats, and keep your weight as close to the centre line of the boat. Unload the boat with one person on the jetty and the other in the bow of the boat. Unload by passing small amounts at a time to the person on the shore. Do not leave any items unattended on the jetty. Only unload what you can carry in one go, making several trips if necessary. Report any problems to a member of staff. You must return to shore immediately if called to do so by a member of the Bristol Water staff. If this happens and it's rough, be aware that you may be directed to beach the boat on another part of the lake and then await collection by the staff. If recalled to the jetty, the ranger will assist you to tie up and get out of the boat. Leave your tackle aboard until told by the staff that it's safe to remove it. Return your life jacket to the drying room. Our staff are here to ensure you have a safe and enjoyable experience. If you are unsure of any aspect of using one of our boats, please ask a member of staff or contact us on the emergency number displayed in the boat. And finally, enjoy your day.